April of 2022 and I still don't have a Cybertruck. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about why that is. Let's talk about what updates we have on the Cybertruck so far. And as a consumer, when am I going to see it being shipped out? So we all know that last month, Tesla opened its Berlin Gigafactory. And during the commencement, we'd all hope that Elon gives us an update on what's near term and upcoming for Tesla. And by that, I mean, we're all waiting for him to give us an update on the production of the Cybertruck, which luckily he did make some statements on the Cybertruck, and he pretty much said, we want to complete development of the Cybertruck and be ready for production next year. All right, so let me get this straight. So 2019, we have the unveil of the Cybertruck. 2021, we say it's going to be starting production, right? Albeit everything happening with the COVID, with the pandemic in 2021, we get it, we understand, it needs to be pushed back to this year, to 2022. I thought, and many of us as well, thought for a fact we're going to see something by this year, but the fact that we don't, and the fact that we say that it's going to be pushed back to next year, do we all see a pattern here, or is that just me? I get it, Elon is not really great with dates. He's been known to not meet a few deadlines, but at the same time, it's been 4 or 5 years. I feel like at this point we should see some sort of production, but it's all good. 2023, I believe you, I'll take your word for it. Let's continue on with the story and the updates. During the Q4 2021 full year 2021 earnings conference call, Musk explained why Tesla didn't begin Cybertruck production in 2021. He said that there was no point in launching the Cybertruck in 2021 if the company wasn't going to be able to deliver it in sufficient volumes. So what Elon's pretty much saying is that even if they were able to, let's say, introduce a Cybertruck last year, right? If they were able to introduce a new vehicle last year, amongst all their different models of vehicles in their fleets, the total output of vehicles delivered would have been the same amount, meaning that with Model Y, Model 3, Model S, and the Model X, and the Cybertruck, the total number of vehicles that Tesla was supposed to produce last year, even if they introduced the Cybertruck, would have been the same, just because they only had a certain amount of chips that they could put into their vehicles. We had a chip shortage. And we all know that the Model Y and the Model 3, they're already backlogged, right, as far as deliveries on their delivery dates. And I'm sure Tesla didn't want to extend that even longer. Elon then goes on to say that the current situation is the same this year, and Tesla may not begin Cybertruck production before 2023. And the funniest part of all of this is that prior to all of this, we had a production date of 2022 on Tesla.com. Tesla has removed that as of the beginning of this year. Now, we have no dates at all. It's just blank. So according to a Reuters source familiar with the development of the Cybertruck, they said that Tesla aims to start Cybertruck productions by the end of Q1 2023, which is January to March of 2023. Due to the rising competition in the electric pickup segment, the source informed Reuters that Tesla is changing the Cybertruck features and functions, and they think that could be the main reason why the company no longer shows the original announced configurations of the Cybertruck on its website. Alright, so let's talk about those configurations, those changes. So initially when the unveil happened, we were introduced with 3 different variations of the Cybertruck. We have the single motor, the dual motor, and the tri-motor. Now, the latest news is that they're no longer considering the single motor because they think the single motor is just too weak for a vehicle like that. So they're going to cancel that out and instead bring out a quad motor version. So now we have a dual motor, a tri-motor, and a quad motor version of the Cybertruck. Elon said that the Tesla Cybertruck quad motor will feature independent motors that provide ultra-fast, I'm quoting this, he's saying ultra-fast response, and it's going to allow controlling the torque that goes to each wheel. It could be quicker than the tri-motor version of the Cybertruck, which Tesla claims accelerates from 0 to 60 in less than 2.9 seconds. And the towing capacity is going to be more than 14,000 square feet of torque. Now the tri-motor specs in itself, those numbers are pretty staggering. So to beat that, I'm pretty eager to see those numbers. It sounds pretty impressive, I'm not gonna lie. The next segment I want to cover is going to be the range. So we have the 3 versions that we keep talking about. We have the dual, the tri, and the quad motor, right? And respectively for the dual motor, the range was supposed to be 250 miles. The tri-motor, the range was supposed to be 300 miles. And for the quad motor, we have a range of 500 miles and plus. Now exactly what that plus means, I don't know, and I don't even think that Tesla knows, but I'm hoping it's a little more than mid 500 to 600 mile range. That would be a really good number. And the way that Tesla wants to achieve these numbers is by using a different cell type in their batteries. And the exact cell type they want to use is the 4680 cell. Andrew Baglino, who's the Senior VP of Powertrain and Battery Energy at Tesla, says that this new cell type can deliver 5 times more energy, 6 times more power, and 16% more range. Alright, so during the unveil, when this beautiful cyberpunk inspired vehicle that looked like it was only designed using a roller came on stage, everyone's initial reaction was like, what is this? But what I feel like happened later on was people started to fall in love with the look of the car, right? Because they know that nothing like that exists on the road today. But what I think is that Tesla did a really good job showcasing the exterior and the interior of the car. It gave us a really good idea of what kind of features it came with versus now that the production model, or something close to the production model, is available for us to see. We get to see the differences between what was shown in the prototype model versus what's gonna go on the production model. So let's go ahead and talk about those differences. The first item on that list is going to be the side mirrors. So because of regulatory rules, the truck will have to be shipped with conventional side mirrors, which the prototype instead had sleek camera bulges, which I preferred a little more, to be honest. But the good thing is that according to a tweet from Elon, he says that these side mirrors will be completely removable and customizable. What I'm thinking is that maybe the side mirrors, we have an option to either use the cameras or these mirrors that it comes with, and you can remove the mirrors, just use the cameras. The next item on that list is going to be the lack of door handles. So in the prototype, you can clearly see that the car has door handles, which seamlessly integrates into the body of the vehicle. That's pretty standard to what Tesla's been using so far in all of their cars, right? You walk up to a car, it brings out the door handle, you open it. All their models have that feature. But as you can see in the production model, showcasing the spy drone footage, there's no door handles at all. And what I'm thinking Tesla's trying to do is, because they've had so much issue with their door handles, specifically with the feature that brings the door handle out, they've had a lot of vehicles have to go back to service to get that fixed. That was a very big problem in their initial production vehicles, right? The later productions, I feel like they've fixed that problem, but I'm sure it still exists. I think what they're trying to do is completely get away from that and just have doors that don't need any handles. What I'm thinking is that they might have some sort of a touch feature on the panels of the doors, where you walk up to it, you touch it, and it opens the doors for you. Or maybe the car just recognizes that a user is close to it based on the key, and then it just opens that door for you automatically. All right, let's talk about the wheels. So what we saw in the prototype were these gigantic, very cyberpunk looking wheels that looked like they had custom tires to allow the wheel covers to better fit. In the production version, we just see these pretty regular looking spec'd out wheel and tire combo. Now, I'm hoping that these wheels are just used for testing purposes, and we're actually gonna get the ability to purchase something closer to what we saw in the prototype model, because those definitely fit the car better in my opinion. But if not, that's still okay, because to be honest, Tesla's been very good on providing consumers the ability to upgrade to a higher end wheel package, so I'm sure they won't cut any corners with their flagship truck. Finally, the last update, and what I think is the most controversial update, is this gigantic windshield wiper. Let's cover that, even though I don't want to. I don't even want to go into it because of how ugly it is, but for the sake of this video, let's go ahead and talk about that. So we first need to understand the challenge behind the windshield itself. It's an angled large window, I get that. So having a dual wiper feature type of thing that we've seen in every other car doesn't really work here, because the width and the length of the window don't really match, so we can't really do that. So the one gigantic windshield wiper type of thing makes sense. I see what Tesla's trying to do here, but Elon even mentions in a tweet that this wiper is what troubles him most. He's like, there's no easy solution here. He says that a deployable wiper that stows in the front trunk would be ideal, but of course super complex. So overall, it's really challenging for automakers to keep the production model of the vehicle very close to what the prototype that they showcased, just because of all the regulatory factors that have to go into the production model. But I feel like so far Tesla's done a really good job at making sure that the production model stays pretty close to what the prototype that they showed to us in 2019. As long as they fix that windshield wiper, I'm so eager to see what they do with that, just because I honestly can't think of any other ways. I was thinking maybe like 2 on the bottom, 2 on top, but then I don't know how you'd feel about things just moving around your face. So this channel will try to play real life Monopoly. Monopoly, we discuss real estate, cars, and money. The beautiful trio, right? If you guys like all those 3 things, please consider subscribing to the channel and joining the family, showing me some love and some support, because I would appreciate it. With that being said, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.